Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now today I've got two races for you, an update on our ladder league performance, and this is basically how we went from Zwift Team Beginner to Zwift Team Pro in only a matter of weeks. Now I've had some great responses from following the last video, loads of new joiners for Team Not Poggy, and it's great to see people joining in, and once again I'll give you details on how to join at the end of this video. But yeah, we have been doing absolutely superb on these races, and it's so enjoyable, so enjoyable. So I'm going to talk you through a couple of them and just basically show you now how we're, undefeated and, just absolutely pro at these races now. Now it does help that we have got a couple of absolute beasts racing for us, obviously, but team tactics are heavily kind of weighted in these ladder matches, and you'll see from what we've got coming up that we win two different races here in two very, very different ways. Now this first race here, it got off to a really quick start, and we were actually caught a little bit behind here, and someone from the other team has just gone out on the front there. I think we're playing we're racing the SRT Gladiators, who I believe challenged us. That's how it works. So you can see here that someone's gone off the front from them, and at the moment we're just sitting in and just doing our best to kind of draft. We were pretty confident at this stage that it was going to come back together. Now we are racing on the Scotland course, and there is a couple of, the rolling Highlands course, and there's a couple of, I would say, punchy climbs. They're not very long at all. They're more sort of kickers. And actually on this first little kicker here, this was our first chance to kind of reel the person in who was up front. Now I sat on the back. I said to the team, I said, right, get in front of me because I'm going to drop my undraftable burrito, which normally I don't find that useful, but on that occasion it was, because the people behind had to try harder. And then Paul, who's just in front of me at the moment, dropped his burrito, so I did my best to sort of get in front of him, and now we've got a little bit of a train here, and the other team are finding it very, very difficult to stay with us. So that was a fantastic tactic there, and as you can see, we've got a little bit of a gap, and now the stronger guys in our team are pushing on, leading us out, and yeah, we've got a bit of a gap already, which was amazing. Great little bit of tactic there. Now we have got one person with us from the other team who actually did a really, really good job in staying with us. But we wanted the clean sweep, okay? We wanted to absolutely destroy this team, like we do. Actually, I'm only kidding. We just wanted to have fun. That's the main thing. But yeah, it was nice to now try and get all four of us to the front of the race, and to come first to fourth, all of Team Not Poggy. So we were planning our next little attack, and actually what we thought we would do is up this little corkscrew bit that you see here, we're going to put our power down, and we're just going to try and get away from this group. Now, the three of us up front here, we just managed to do that. I was lucky enough to just kind of stay with my two teammates in front here, but Paul, one of our other teammates, and the other person from the SRT Gladiators has just dropped back. So that's okay. I mean, at this stage of the race, we've got basically a lap to go, and we know that we're going to win this race now because, we're 1, 2, and 3 at the moment. But we wanted to finish as a team, and I knew Paul was very strong. Paul was featured in one of my other videos where we did the tiny races before, and he's been racing with us for a little while now. We did FRR together. And I just said to Paul, I mean, don't put any effort in, just draft, do your best to draft. But I knew how strong Paul was, and it was at this point that Paul decided to do his own little attack, put in some orange numbers there, and is just pulled away from the final SRT Gladiator there. It was a top effort from the other team. They still, they did really well at the start of the race. But ultimately, Paul has done a great job there in kind of getting away. And now I believe Ben just sat back, and he helped Paul get on to the train basically. So yeah, here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would say an absolutely great race, tactical from us. It's always nice to win, a race like this after. It was only our second race at this point, and as I say, we come through the line 1, 2, 3, 4, still undefeated. That's 2 out of 2. Absolutely superb race. We did so well there, so absolutely over the moon with that performance. And now on to our second race against Team Evo. Now Dan, who helps organise team Not Poggy. It was his old team Evo, so it was a well-known team. We kind of knew what to expect, and this was going to be, well, this is a very different race. They got some strong guys in this one, and actually it was a little bit quieter from the start, which was nice because I just do not like a fast start, and I know I shouldn't be probably giving that away, but I don't like it at all. It really does my legs in. So any future people that we race, please do not rush off the line. But yeah, so it's kind of nice and chilled at this point, and it's a little bit of a longer course. So it's a magnificent 8 around Watopia, and we've got about 18 or so miles in total. And there is a couple of kickers. Again, we do go up the Zwift KOM, which I knew it would kick off at that point. But there was something that happened in this race that was a little bit unfortunate. We've got a slightly different team out here because we've got obviously a couple of ladder teams, which is now really good. But just coming up to the Italian villas here, unfortunately, we did have a little dropout. And Dylan, unfortunately, his internet or whatever it was, Wi-Fi stopped working. So as you can see, he's now 24 seconds behind, and Dylan's one of our strongest riders in this group. So that was an absolute nightmare for him. But, you know, it does happen. You can see that Jorge and Dan have just gone off the front with one of the Evo guys, Andrew, who's a very, very strong rider. And I'm just sitting in the kind of this little group here with Pete, who raced, I believe, the first race with us. So that was good. And now, yeah, just sitting in now. As I say, it was such a shame that that Dylan dropped off the back, but he is a strong rider, so I had confidence that he would be able to bounce back, even though he was, you know, what was he, 30 seconds down at one point. But here we are, we're just coming up the KOM, and we had a couple of technical issues on this one as well. We were on Discord, which is where we talk during the race itself, and Pete unfortunately dropped off Discord. It wasn't working for him for some reason, so we were telepathically talking to each other throughout, and actually, you know, our tactics worked quite well on this one again. So, I mean, amazingly, Dylan's already managed to pass one of the guys from Evo at the back there. So we're in a pretty strong position at the moment. We got Jorge and Dan at the front with Andrew, and then yeah, we're in this middle bunch here. We are going to group up here because there was someone else from Evo up the front. They just dropped back as well into this pack. So all I wanted to do here is just kind of wait for Dylan to come back to us, and here we are. He is finally back. So what an amazing effort that is, and now it's all to play for again. My aim on this was to make sure that we kind of did our best to finish up as obviously high as possible and to win this race. You know, there's still an opportunity that, well, there's still potential that we could lose it at this point. So yeah, tactically, I thought we're just going to sit in, get a little bit of rest, and then at a certain point, I'm just going to try and do a little bit of a threshold effort. Now, I haven't actually done or started doing any training since I've, you know, since I've been back on the bike. All I've been doing are these ladder races, and I've really enjoyed it. But I am back on the training now, so hopefully I will still start to see some fitness gains coming very soon. But you can see here that we're all together. We're kind of, you know, there's not been a massive amount of power. There's been a couple of spikes, you know, at times, but I'm kind of readying to make a little bit of a move. Now, I did have a look, and one of the people from Evo didn't have the steering, and now I've got steering. I thought, you know what, I'm going to use it to my advantage. So I just made a very small effort and then just steered to the left-hand side and just kept up this effort. As you can see, the people in the wind, which was me a couple of weeks ago, having to do all the work. And yeah, look, we're just getting a little gap, and we're just slowly but surely creeping away here. So I was really happy with this little tactic, and Pete's decided to follow as well. So he, you know, even though he wasn't on Discord for this point, he still knew what was going on, which was great. So excellent work from Pete, and we're just, you know, we're just following each other here. Might not have worked potentially if everyone had the steering, but you know, I'm gonna use the steering. It's you know, it's a little bit pay to win, isn't it? But I'm happy with it so far. It's actually quite enjoyable having it. I'd rather have it than not have it, to be honest with you. And I still don't know why it took me so long to do that. But yeah, here we are. So we're pulling out a little bit of a gap. You can see we've got 14 seconds now. I've got absolute confidence that Dylan is going to come back to us because he is strong enough to do that. Meanwhile, at the front, Dan and Jorge are doing you know, an amazing job. keeping Andrew at bay, which is really, really good. So I'm hoping that, you know, those two at the front will be able to win that 2-on-2 versus 1. I know Dan especially has been super strong recently, really, really strong, and, you know, all the FRR, you know, races that he's done. But unfortunately here, it all came back together a little bit. Dylan made a move, and then someone from Evo made a move, and I thought it would probably be just best to let Dylan come back on. And actually, we've got 2 Evos that have dropped back now, and we have got a numerical advantage, which is good. So I'm less worried about us kind of winning now. I think we've probably got it in the bag, which is lovely. But I know that it's still kind of the end of the race to do, and, you know, I always want to finish up as high as possible and keep the undefeated streak going. Now, I knew that was going to kick off there, so I just sat with the last guy from Evo, and then I put in a little dig and got up to Pete here, which is really good. So that's 3 of them dropped now, and now hopefully we're on a 2-on-1 situation. Although I will say I did burn a match. You know, I'm getting the excuses out early. I did burn a match there to get back onto these 2, and Dylan's gone ahead. So Dylan's done a great job. What a fantastic race that he had, and now we're going for the sprint. And as you can see, I just pull out to the left-hand side, and that is a bit of a noob error there. I probably should have just sat behind, but look how close it is. Oh, so close. But unfortunately, I did finish in 7th place. But as a team, we are still undefeated, and that is how we have gone from being a beginner at these ladder races to pro. We're still undefeated. We've done 1 more race after this, and we won that one as well. So we're 4 out of 4 at the moment. Really enjoying how this is going so far. If you want to get involved, please join the Not Poggy team on the companion app. I'll put a link in the description. But it would be great to have more of you along. This is such a great community. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.